So Yanni has officially decided to respond back to Nadia. Now, she posted on her IG story her response to everything that's been going on between her and Nadia. Now, if you aren't familiar, Nadia said that she wanted to tussle with Yanni for various reasons. And in response, Yanni basically says, listen, I never told you not to mess with Wooda. And then on top of that, why are you acting like you and I were great friends and that we were really locked in, because we weren't? She also makes it very clear that the reason why her and Nadia are not cool is because Nadia is the one that exposed that she hooked up with Wooda. And Yanni also accuses Nadia of hooking up with one of her guys. Now, for those that are not familiar, this issue between Yanni and Nadia started when Yanni went over and linked up with Wooda. Now, keep in mind, they do have a past. And so now a lot of supporters have assumed that Nadia's issue with Yanni is solely about her linking up with Wooda. And Nadia jumps on IG Live and basically clears the air on that situation. And now she makes it clear that, listen, when her and Yanni first met, Yanni pulled her to the side and had a conversation with her, asking her, hey, do you deal with Wooda? Because I have a past with him. I hooked up with him. Now, she then also goes on to say that Yanni warned her about him. Yanni was basically giving her every red flag about him and bashing him to her. Now, at the time, Nadia and Wooda are going through it, and she's feeling like this dude is kind of crazy. So therefore, she's taking what Yanni is telling her about Wooda as face value. Now, Nadia's real issue with Yanni is the fact that she feels like Yanni played in her face, because after saying all of that about Wooda, she then goes back over there and collabs with him. So was there ever really an issue, or were you trying to get me out the way? She also makes it known that she did not expose Yanni for hooking up with Wooda. In fact, there was a conversation already had, and she jumped in and just clarified some things in regarding to where she got this information from. They all jumped on the IG live with Messy Maj. Now, this live right here was a whole fool. I mean, it was just all over the place, and it really got nowhere. Like, nothing was really resolved between any of these girls. Now, Lexi jumped into the equation. Now, keep in mind, this has absolutely nothing to do with Lexi, but Lexi felt like, well, listen, why is she trying to get at Yanni when I've done the same thing? Now, as y'all heard in Nadia's live, she basically said, listen, I am not concerned about Lexi or anybody else because I wasn't cool with them like that. But for some reason, Lexi feels like, you know, she's involved in the situation. Now, a lot of supporters feel like Lexi inserted herself into this conversation and that she had no place and she should have removed herself, because the conversation between Yanni and Nadia barely happened, because every time Nadia spoke, Lexi spoke, and every time Yanni spoke, Lexi spoke. No one can get a word in with Lexi on the live. Now, speaking on Lexi, before she jumped on this IG live with Messy Maj and the rest of them, earlier in the day, she basically said that she was happy for Nadia and Cam linking back up. And in fact, she just wants happiness for everybody. But for some reason, she found herself on that live ready to tussle with any and everybody. Alright guys, so let me know what y'all think about this entire situation down in the comments below. Let me know how y'all feel about Yanni's response to Nadia. And what do you think about what Nadia had to say? And do y'all feel like Yanni does make threats, then back down when she's approached? Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. So now this is what I will say, which is something I actually said early in the video, which is Nadia's main issue with Yanni is the fact that she felt like she played in her face. She felt like they got close and then you played in my face by making it seem like you had an issue with Wooda, and then come to find out you ran back over there. Now you're also claiming that this is just content. Well, that's kind of hard to believe that it's just content, because after the first meetup of content, y'all wind up hooking up. So therefore, anything could happen every time y'all are together. So I know a lot of supporters are feeling like Yanni is talking about Eli in regards to who Nadia supposedly hooked up with. Well, let's really look into that. Now, when Nadia was accused of hooking up with Eli, in which she does deny, this was before Yanni was even back in the picture when it comes to Eli. She wasn't even associating herself with the Rated R crew nor Eli at the time. They weren't even on speaking terms, in fact. And also, let's point out the fact that when Nadia was accused of hooking up with Eli, he was already dealing with someone else, which was the girl that supposedly walked in on them. And when it comes to Lexi, it seems like Lexi has some major animosity towards Nadia. Now, where does that stem from? I have no clue, because during the Messy Maj live, literally, I mean, she was acting like she didn't have an issue, but then she was showing that she had an issue. I mean, it was, like I said, it was all over the place. But you can definitely tell clear as day that she does have a problem with Nadia. Now, speaking on Lexi, when supporters asked her about Wooda, she claims that they are just friends, and in fact, he's basically trying to teach her how to be a better person. Well, when Wooda dropped his Truth or Drink video with Lexi, a lot of supporters are pointing out the fact that this video is not giving friendship, because there was a lot of flirting going on. It was very sexual. They were playing Truth or Drink, but she was the only one drinking, because he wasn't taking any shots, but trying to get as much information out of her as possible. Lexi at one point kissed him, and then by the end of the video, she was leaning in to kiss on his neck. I mean, it was a whole lot going on in this video, and once again, it was not giving friendship, which has led supporters to question whether or not this is yet another situation where two influencers are claiming just friendship while doing something else on the back end. Alright guys, well that's all I got for this video, so I will catch you next time with some more scoops. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks!